Hear the word of the Lord. Isaiah chapter 31. Woe to those who go down to Egypt for help and rely on horses, and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very mighty. But they do not regard at the Holy One of Israel, nor seek Yahweh. Yet he also is wise and will bring about an evil demise, and does not turn his words aside, but will arise against the house of evildoers and against the help of the workers of iniquity. Now the Egyptians are men and not God, and their horses are flesh and not spirit. So Yahweh will stretch out his hand, and he who helps will stumble, and he who is helped will fall, and all of them will come to an end together. For thus says Yahweh to me, as the lion or the young lion growls over its prey, against which a multitude of shepherds is called out, and it will not be dismayed at their voice, nor afflicted at their noise, so will Yahweh of hosts come down to wage war on Mount Zion and on its hill. Like flying birds, so Yahweh of hosts will defend Jerusalem. He will defend and deliver it. He will pass over and provide a way of escape. Return to him against whom you have deeply rebelled, O sons of Israel. For in that day every man will reject his silver idols and his gold idols, which your hands have made for you as a sin. And the Assyrian will fall by a sword not of man, and a sword not of man will devour him. So he will flee from the sword, and his choice men will become forced laborers. His rock will pass away because of terror, and his princes will be dismayed at the standard, declares Yahweh, whose fire is in Zion and whose furnace is in Jerusalem. Isaiah chapter 32. Behold, a king will reign righteously, and princes will rule justly. Each will be like a refuge from the wind and a shelter from the storm, like streams of water in a dry country, like the shade of a huge rock in a weary land. Then the eyes of those who see will not be blinded, and the ears of those who hear will pay attention. And the heart of the hasty will discern knowledge, and the tongue of the stammerers will hasten to speak clearly. No longer will the wicked fool be called noble, or the rogue be spoken of as generous. For a wicked fool speaks wicked folly, and his heart does wickedness, to do ungodliness, and to speak error against Yahweh. In order to make the hungry person empty, he even causes the thirsty to lack a drink. As for a rogue, his weapons are evil. He counsels wicked schemes to wreak destruction on the afflicted with lying words, even though the needy one speaks justly. But the noble man counsels noble plans, and by noble plans he rises up. Rise up, you women who are at ease, and hear my voice. Give ear to my word, you complacent daughters. Within a year and a few days you will quake, O complacent daughters, for the grape harvest is ended and the fruit gathering will not come. Tremble, you women who are at ease. Quake, you complacent daughters. Strip, undress, and put sackcloth on your waist. Beat your breasts for the desirable fields, for the fruitful vine, for the land of my people in which thorns and briars shall come up, indeed, against all the joyful houses and the exultant city. Because the palace has been abandoned, the populated city forsaken, hill and watchtower have become caves forever, a joy for wild donkeys, a pasture for flocks, until the Spirit is poured out upon us from on high, and the wilderness becomes a fruitful orchard, and the fruitful orchard is counted as a forest. Then justice will dwell in the wilderness, and righteousness will live in the fruitful orchard. And the work of righteousness will be peace, and the service of righteousness, quietness, and security forever. Then my people will live in a peaceful abode, and in secure dwellings, and in undisturbed resting places. And it will hail when the forest comes down, and the city will be utterly laid low. How blessed will you be, you who sow beside all waters, who let out freely the ox and the donkey. Isaiah chapter 33. Woe to you, O destroyer, while you were not destroyed, and he who is treacherous while others did not deal treacherously with him. As soon as you finish destroying, you will be destroyed. As soon as you cease to deal treacherously, others will deal treacherously with you. O Yahweh, be gracious to us. We have hoped in you. Be their strength every morning, our salvation also in the time of distress. At the sound of the tumult, peoples flee. At the lifting up of yourself, nations scatter. Your spoil is gathered as the caterpillar gathers, as locusts rushing about men rush about on it. Yahweh is exalted, for he dwells on high. He has filled Zion with justice and righteousness, and he will be the stability of your times, a wealth of salvation, wisdom, and knowledge. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. Behold, their brave men cry in the streets. The messengers of peace weep bitterly. The highways are desolate. The traveler has ceased. He has broken the covenant. He has rejected the cities. He has no regard for man. The land mourns and languishes. Lebanon is humiliated and withers. Sharon is like a desert plain, and Bashan and Carmel lose their foliage. Now I will be on high, says Yahweh. Now I will be lifted up. Now I will be lifted up. You have conceived chaff. You will give birth to stubble. My breath will consume you like a fire. The peoples will be burned to lime, like cut thorns, which are burned in the fire. You who are far away, hear what I have done, and you who are near, acknowledge my might. Sinners in Zion are in dread. Trembling has seized the godless. Who among us can sojourn with the consuming fire? Who among us can sojourn with continual burning? He who walks righteously and speaks uprightly. He who rejects greedy gain of oppression and shakes his hands so that they hold no bribe. He who stops his ears from hearing about bloodshed and shuts his eyes from looking upon evil. He will dwell on the heights. His refuge will be the strongholds of the cliffs. His bread will be given him. His water will be sure. Your eyes will behold the king in his beauty. They will see a far distant land. Your heart will meditate on terror. Where is he who counts? Where is he who weighs? Where is he who counts the towers? You will no longer see a fierce people, a people of unintelligible speech which no one comprehends, of a stammering tongue which no one understands. Behold Zion, the city of our appointed times. Your eyes will see Jerusalem, an abode at ease, a tent which will not be folded. Its stakes will never be pulled up, nor any of its cords ever be torn apart. But there the mighty one, Yahweh, will be for us a place of rivers and wide canals, on which no boat with oars will go, and on which no mighty ship will pass. For Yahweh is our judge, Yahweh is our lawgiver, Yahweh is our king. He will save us. Your cords hang slack. They cannot hold the base of their mast firmly, nor spread out the sail. Then the prey of an abundant spoil will be divided. The lame will take the plunder. And no one who dwells there will say, I am sick. The people who inhabit there will be forgiven their iniquity. Isaiah chapter 34. Draw near, O nations, to hear, and pay attention, O peoples. Let the earth hear, as well as its fullness, the world and all that springs from it. For the indignation of Yahweh is against all the nations, and his wrath against all their hosts. He has devoted them to destruction. He has given them over to slaughter. So their slain will be cast out, and their corpses will give off their stench, and the mountains will be drenched with their blood. And all the host of heaven will rot away, and the sky will be rolled up like a scroll. All their hosts will also wither away as a leaf withers from the vine, or as one withers from the fig tree. For my sword is satiated in heaven. Behold, it shall descend for judgment upon Edom and upon the people whom I have devoted to destruction. The sword of Yahweh is filled with blood. It is sated with fat. with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For Yahweh has a sacrifice in Bozrah, and a great slaughter in the land of Edom. And wild oxen will also fall with them, and young bulls with strong ones. Thus their land will be soaked with blood, and their dust become greasy with fat. For Yahweh has a day of vengeance, a year of recompense for the cause of Zion. And its streams will be turned into pitch, and its dust into brimstone, and its land will become burning pitch. It will not be quenched night or day. Its smoke will go up forever. From generation to generation it will be laid waste. None will pass through it forever and ever. But pelican and hedgehog will possess it, and owl and raven will dwell in it, and he will stretch over it the line of utter formlessness and the plumb line of utter void. Its nobles, there is no one there whom they may proclaim king, and all its princes will be non-existent. And thorns will come up in its fortified towers, weeds and thistles in its fortified cities. It will also be a haunt of jackals and an abode of ostriches. And the desert creatures will meet with the wolves. The hairy goat also will cry to its kind. Surely the night creature will obtain relief there, and will find itself a resting place. The owl will make its nest and find its escape there, and it will hatch its eggs and gather them in its shade. Surely the falcons will be gathered there, every one with its kind. Seek from the book of Yahweh and read. Not one of these will be missing. None will lack its mate, for his mouth has commanded, and his spirit has gathered them. He has cast the lot for them, and his hand has divided it to them by line. They shall possess it forever. From generation to generation, they will dwell in it. Isaiah chapter 35. The wilderness and the desert will be delighted, and the Arabah will rejoice and flourish. Like the crocus, it will flourish profusely, and rejoice with rejoicing and shout of joy. The glory of Lebanon will be given to it, the majesty of Carmel and Sharon. They will see the glory of Yahweh, the majesty of our God. Strengthen limp hands, and give courage to the knees of the stumbling. Say to those with an anxious heart, be strong, fear not. Behold, your God will come with vengeance. The recompense of God will come, but he will save you. Then the eyes of the blind will be opened, and the ears of the deaf will be unstopped. Then the lame will leap like a deer, and the tongue of the mute will shout for joy. For waters will break forth in the wilderness, and streams in the Arabah. Then the scorched land will become a pool, and the thirsty ground springs of water. In the haunt of jackals, its resting place, grass becomes reeds and rushes. And a roadway will be there, a highway, and it will be called the highway of holiness. The unclean will not pass by on it, but it will be for him who walks in that way, and ignorant fools will not wander on it. No lion will be there, nor will any vicious beast go up on it. These will not be found there, but the redeemed will walk there. And the ransomed of Yahweh will return and come with joyful shouting to Zion. With everlasting gladness upon their heads, they will attain delight and gladness, and sorrow and sighing will flee away.